I got fucked! I got fucked by Knuckles Dawson.
And I challenge Oscar De La Hoya to fight Gus.
It's refreshing to see a Palin who finally knows when to pull out.
Conspiracy. Maybe they're the same person.
Yeah.
Hey, I am Jeff Ramsey.
Gussarola.
I'm Joel Hammond.
This is Bernie Burns.
Diane Lane, Alicia Pratt, Olivia Munn.
I feel pressure that we shouldn't suck now after that song.
I don't feel any pressure at all. As a matter of fact, I feel like we did all the work in that song.
We did. We did all the heavy lifting.
What's that kid's name? Don't give him credit. Don't say his name.
Hey.
Okay, it was Teresa Bach.
Okay.
It was not Teresa Bach.
Why are you always so negative about the theme songs? I think
I'm
they're
not
awesome.
negative.
How many theme songs do we have, like, in the hopper?
I need to refill the hopper. I have a bunch in my email box that haven't made it into the hopper yet. We probably have like another 60 to go.
This is, by the way, coming from the guy who's become Mr. Negativity. You've overtaken Gus.
Nope.
Every day you walk into the back room and you're like, you know what I don't like about X? X sucks. You did it 2 seconds ago with your Mac. You did it with like 4 video games yesterday. Like,
nope.
Gav talks about it at home. When we get home at night, he's like, what's wrong with Bernie today? He was so negative about Left 4 Dead or whatever.
First of all, that's an example. When have I ever been negative about Left 4 Dead?
You were mad about the new achievement to get another 5,000 kills.
Well, that's bullshit. I mean,
Wait, did you grind out the really long one?
that sucks. Yeah, I did.
Oh.
We were commenting the other week that because Valve decided to update Left 4 Dead, it took away one of my 100% of games.
Okay.
And Jeff said, well, you just get those achievements. And my argument was, I don't know what the achievements are, so I can't assume that. BioShock put in an achievement that I am never going to get, which is to finish the game on whatever, like super difficult. What's the highest difficulty level
Hard.
on BioShock?
The same difficulty you already beat it on?
No, it's like pretentious level. That's the highest difficulty on BioShock. And without dying or without saving, so it's just BS. So
BioShock is BS.
It's all a bunch of shit. You know what I hate about Jeff is that he says I'm fucking negative.
Bernie's Mr. Positivity in here.
No, I'm fine. I actually was going to come in and apologize to Jeff for being so negative about his achievement abilities, and then about yelling about the phone.
Oh, Gus got an owie.
Gus was actually pointing at Jeff to tell him to stop thumping his foot, and he did it by pounding on the desk.
Did he stop? Yes. Mission accomplished. So I'll go home.
And now it sounds like a dead body just dropped out of the ceiling.
So speaking of negativity, we finally made it through our week-long series of podcasts.
I loved it.
Bernie was talking to me about how he wants to do it again soon.
No.
I loved it.
Not happening again.
Gus was a miserable Gus for the
horrible.
last week.
I fucking hated that.
Well, if we did, how many weekdays are there in a year?
260.
110.
Wow, that's fast.
It's 5 days a week for 2 weeks a year.
Yeah, I was doing the other way. I was subtracting the weekends. I was saying there's
that's
104 weekend days.
The stupid way.
Well, you don't know. I mean, you don't know what day of the week of the calendar year starts on. It depends, but yeah.
I was staring at my foot thinking, I'm glad I'm not in school anymore. This isn't a test. You fucking math people.
We should have thrown that out to Jeff and see what would last longer. Him figuring that out or the podcast itself.
We were talking with Jack and Gavin this morning because Gavin was surprised that I knew some word and I have a decent vocabulary. But I was saying how I made up for it in school by being actually retarded when it comes to math. Like, I was in, like, advanced reading and retard math at the same time.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice.
What was the highest level of math that you took in high school?
I failed out of what comes after algebra?
Algebra 2?
No, God, no. What's the one that's like
Geometry.
Geometry. I failed
Okay.
both semesters of geometry in the 10th grade, and that was it for me in math.
Wow.
Or 11th.
You didn't
grade.
take math after 10th grade?
Well, I took it. I just didn't pass it.
Where was this?
I
at?
almost graduated with honors too.
Wow, you couldn't pass math in Alabama.
Nope.
That's incredible.
Which is weird because Alabama has the best teachers in the country, right? I mean,
Obviously.
and they care too. It's really hard to believe. Right?
Isn't that where Jethro from the Beverly Hillbillies learned?
all the extra work they put into those students, and I couldn't pass.
But how do you get a high school diploma without passing mathematics?
I did 2 years.
That's not enough.
It's not college.
I did general math in the 9th grade where I learned how to write checks, and then
Are you serious?
Then I did algebra, and then I
Wow.
failed geometry, and then for my senior year, this was a brilliant move. I took chemistry and failed both semesters of that. So I failed 4 semesters of high school and still graduated.
Wow. I mean, I can tell you that when I was in high school, I took physics my senior year. Chemistry was a junior level class, and everybody had to take it. You didn't pass it, and you still graduated.
Oh, yeah.
So what were the sciences you took in high school?
I took physical science in the 9th grade.
You're right, like just general science.
Yeah, in the 10th grade, I took
Biology?
biology. 11th grade, I took chemistry, failed both semesters, didn't take it in my senior year. I didn't take any science
So
at all.
you didn't pass math and science, yet you somehow graduated from high school?
Yeah, I took 2 years of math. I passed 2 years of math, 2 years of science, and almost graduated with honors.
Well, there's a reason Jeff's not an engineer, and I think we figured it out.
yeah, but I can read good.
What percentage of your graduating class would you say you're in?
I have.
He's from Alabama. What, like
Top 2, 3%?
I am proud to
the
say that
90th percentile?
I have. I've managed to be dead center in everything I've ever done in my entire life.
First of all, when you say graduating class, you're already whittling down the class quite a bit, I think.
Very true. Absolutely true.
Or though maybe not, if they can't pass math and science.
Well, how big was your class?
My senior class was 356 people.
And of that, how many
Really?
graduated? You
Wow.
think?
Oh, that's 356 graduated.
Oh, okay.
We started out the senior year with 1,300.
Wow.
That's a big class. Did you really start with that many?
No, we started with probably 400, 450.
Okay.
We had a lot of dropouts, but
Because I went to a very big high school in Houston, and my graduating class was 1,100 people.
that's pretty
Holy shit.
crazy.
I think I had like
Jesus.
700 in mine.
Yeah, I think we graduated I think 650 graduated out of class about 710.
My wife graduated
Wow.
with 30 kids or something, I think.
I'm not joking when I say this. My graduating class had like a 54% dropout rate.
Jesus.
Really?
Yeah.
What Jack just said was amazing, because 60 kids in his class didn't graduate. And it's like, do you know the 60 kids that didn't graduate?
No, I remember because I was very focused on that because I had to stay in the top 10% of my class because there's the law in Texas where if you're in the top 10%, you automatically are accepted to any public college in Texas. So I was very focused on staying in that top 65 or whatever it was.
Yep.
So I think I ended up at 58. So I managed to sneak under the line. But
Nice.
That's the only reason why I would know those numbers.
Do you know that I only wanted to go to one school, and I geared all of my academic career in high school towards going to Notre Dame?
Really?
And I got into Notre Dame, and I was fine. Then found out about 5 months before I went to college that my family couldn't afford to send me to Notre Dame.
Oh, that's fun.
It was about $21,000 a year, and it was $22,000 a year if I wanted carpet in my dorm room.
Jesus.
So I went to Texas. I went to UT because I was accepted under that rule of 10%. I just
Nice.
automatically had an in. So I didn't even apply, and I got to go to Texas.
Yeah, I applied to one school, which was Texas, and that was the only thing I wanted to do. So
Well, I don't know what it's like in Texas, where you guys all went to high school, but in Alabama, I took a sex ed class in 8th grade with a dude who was 15.
Did they make
He
you,
sat next to me.
Did they
I-
make you have sex with somebody?
Yeah.
Class?
No, it was just I just remember it was like sex ed and CPR or whatever they bundle, and don't get hit by trains. They bundle all this shit together, right? And
is it driver's ed and sex ed?
anyway, no. I got a great driver's ed story. I'll tell you. In
All
a
right,
second.
finish your sex ed
The
story.
final exam is an application to join the army.
It's the ASVAB. But the guy that sat next to me would just bitch about how there was too much classwork in the sex ed class, and hygiene and all that nonsense, and brush your teeth and shit. And he was like, as soon as I turn 16, I'm gonna quit. I'm gonna work at the Croman factory. And that was what a lot of people were like in my school. He turned 16 years old, dropped out of high school, and started Croman bumpers. Was happy. That was it for the rest of
He's
his
probably
life.
rich by now.
Yeah, it's good living, man.
He found his calling.
You think that factory is still open? I hope it is.
I'm sure it still is.
Yeah?
Bumpers still need Croman.
Or they'd work at the paper mill. There was a lot of paper mills, on the Gulf Coast where I grew up.
How
So.
quickly did you join the army after school?
I joined the army when I was still in high school.
Really?
Yeah, and very midway through my senior year. But I went into basic training 3 months after I graduated,
Man.
and I couldn't have gone fast enough.
And then how quickly, if I may ask, how quickly were you married after that?
I got married when I was 21, so three years into. Two and a
Oh,
half
you
years
were
in.
actually older than I thought you were.
Yeah, I got married a week after my birthday, or about a month after my 21st birthday. And then the second time I got married, the day before my birthday. I like to keep it around the same time.
Yeah, absolutely.
good.
It
Keep it
keeps
easy.
your dates clear.
Yeah.
Summer weddings are nice.
Because
They are.
you failed math. So, yeah,
I need all the help I can get.
One calendar.
But anyway, I was going to tell you a funny story.
driver's ed.
Driver's ed. Okay, I got a great story. I don't think I've ever told you guys this story. I went. I took driver's ed in the 10th grade or whatever when you take it when you're 15, and it was taught by some old basketball coach who didn't give a fuck. He was probably 5 years from retirement, just did not give a shit, right? And I took it with a bunch of dumb motherfuckers that needed to get cars to quit high school, right, and go work
Go
at
to the bumper factory.
the pallet factory, the Chroma factory, whatever. And there was this one dude, I don't want to say his name, Prentice was his name. I don't think he listens to our podcast. Really cool guy, had this huge afro, and he would just sit and pick his afro in class all day long. That's like, it was awesome, dude, and we'd play tic-tac-toe together. Really nice guy. And but did not give a fuck about school.
Great
right?
story so far.
Yeah, it is, right? Well, anyway,
like the name.
we passed driver's ed together one time, and then one time my school had a big horseshoe in the front of it where you would drop people off, and I was walking past the horseshoe one morning, and Prentice pulled up in this huge Lincoln Continental, and I looked over to my right, and I noticed our coach was there that taught us high school driver's ed, and Prentice sees him and goes, "Hey, Coach so-and-so, got my car," and the coach goes, "Hey, what's up?" And while Prentice was waving at my coach, he ran into a car. Like T-boned a car, and there was nobody in the car. They'd stopped to like drop their kids off or something. Smashed into it. It was like a huge wreck. The coach goes, "Oh," and I go, "Wow!" And Prentice looks at the coach and looks at me, backs up, and drove away. And the coach just shook his head and went on about his day.
That's the perfect crime.
It was. Prentice didn't care. The coach didn't care. That was it.
Man,
I think
I
we're
hope
the
the
only
person
people to see it.
I hope the person whose car got hit isn't listening to the podcast.
Yeah, they're gonna fuck.
They're like, I know who it was now. All these years of searching.
Have you ever been in a car wreck?
Who, me?
Yeah.
No,
No?
never been one.
No, I was in a car wreck about 2 months after I got my driver's license. Actually, I think it was a week after I got my physical license. I had a 1976 Chevy Nova. This thing was like a tank. It was this giant ass car. I bought it for $100. Me and my dad worked on it for like 8 months, fixing it up, ready. Like when I turned 16, I was gonna be driving it. And I pulled away from my school with a buddy of mine, and a woman was actually following a car, like tailing him, really, really close. And then he slammed on his brakes. She slammed on her brakes, and my car I braked, but I slid and just hit her bumper. And it was one of those things where your brain just doesn't comprehend like two cars colliding like that. And I literally I pulled my foot off the brake and hit her again. And I was like, well, it's like the Matrix when that helicopter hit the building and it kind of did that wave, like it wasn't sure what to do, and then it exploded. It was the exact same thing going through my head, like, oh, did that just happen? And then I hit her again. I was like, oh, Jesus Christ, and then pulled off to the side. But since me and my friend were both minors, they had to call like an ambulance and a fire truck, and it was rough. So I mean. Yeah, I was sitting there like crying over my car that I spent all this time working on, and I felt like an idiot. And it turns out the woman I hit was one of my friend's moms. So I had to live through that. Oh, you rear-ended this guy's mom's. Yeah. So.
My favorite part about that story is that you cried like a little bitch.
Dude,
Yeah,
I spent
way to
so
cry.
much time. It was this beautiful car, and then from then on, it looked like it had a black eye. Like I broke the front end, and I literally looked like my car had a black eye because like the rim around the light was gone, so it looked like this giant like mark on the front. It was horrible.
That sucks. I've never actually hit or been in any kind of collision, but one time I did drive. I was looking at some chick, some trailer park girl in short shorts walk across the street when I was dropping my friend off from high school, and she was hot, and I was checking out her ass, and I wasn't paying attention where I was going. I went in the other lane, and I made a van swerve into a ditch, and it was on 2 wheels. And the lady was like trying to figure out how to open her door, and I took off. I hope she's not listening.
That's like the ultimate compliment to that girl walking across the street.
I don't know if she knew,
Did
man.
she
but
wave and say
I
thank you?
I almost killed that lady.
Everywhere I walk, there's these wrecks. She probably never wants to
The
drive.
funny thing about it is, I remember exactly what that girl looked like to this day.
Do you remember what the van looked like?
Yeah, it was white and had like purple stripes on
Really?
it.
There was a
And there was a wheel spinning like this.
there was a pool of blood underneath it.
Exactly. When I read the newspaper article the next day for all the people that I killed, I remember all of their names. But I would not assume...
Allegedly, I did that.
Allegedly, right? Yeah. Hey, so let's just throw this out there. If you had failed driver's ed, would they have given you a driver's license? I mean...
I don't know.
If they let you graduate,
I
what
think
the
so.
hell?
What if you failed the written test but passed the street test? It's like,
Yeah, it's like
Yeah, I don't
I
know.
failed driver's ed, so they gave me a driver's license.
I mean, driver's ed is completely independent of...
just because I was there.
just because I was there.
And I was present and I took it.
Perfect attendance.
But he said that he's driving a Chevy Nova, which is like a tank. Gus and I watched this video that was posted on Slashdot.
oh man.
And it was to celebrate... It sounded like a lobbyist group, didn't it?
Yeah, it
Gus?
did sound like a lobbyist group. National
Highway Insurance
Highway
Group.
Insurance, yes, NIIH or something. National Institute of Insurers for the Highway or whatever.
And they started, like, this organization, they started it back in 1959. And so to show how much that they have helped safety standards in the last 50 years, they took a 1959 Chevy Bel Air and crashed it into a 2009 Chevy Nova, Chevy
Malibu.
into a Malibu. and they just did them in a head-on collision where basically the driver's side,
Like the offset kind.
yeah, where
Oh, those are the
like
best.
somebody came across the yellow line and say they both hit the left side, both the driver's side against each other in a head-on collision. That Malibu destroyed that Bel Air.
Really?
You think of it as being these
interesting.
huge tanks, right?
Yeah, big hunks
Yeah.
of metal.
No way, man. That thing was like Swiss cheese. That fucking Malibu cut right through that Bel Air like nothing.
That's a really cool test.
It was, and it was very impressive to see the way when the Bel Air was hit. It basically the way it crashed was to take every piece of the engine and put it in the cockpit, essentially.
Yeah, put in what would have been the driver's lap.
Yeah, exactly. And they had a cutaway afterwards. They did an analysis of the dummies, and they said the driver of the Malibu would have had possibly a sprained knee,
Yeah, a minor knee injury.
but that the driver of the Bel Air would have been killed instantly. Essentially, if they were lucky, they would have been dead instantly.
Wow.
And afterwards, they had a cutaway, and it looked like the owner of the Malibu just decided to go in and sit in a wrecked car, like to take a picture. And the cutaway from the Bel Air, his knee is up in his chin. He's all crumpled behind the wheel, and the steering column's eating him.
Is that the cutaway right there? Hold on.
No, this is actually the video. We'll post a link.
Yeah, I'll
up
make
to
sure to
this.
put it in the link up. It's really interesting to see because I used to own a giant old pickup, and I thought, if I was ever in a wreck, there's no way that anything could cause a dent in this truck. Nope. any modern car would have killed me.
And I watched Mad Men, and you remember back in those days when kids would sit on the laps in the front seat, or they'd be jumping around in the back seat playing basketball.
Oh, dude, I used to lay in the back window of the car we had. Like that sort of that gap between the back seat and the actual window. We would get up in there and lay down there as kids.
Wow.
Probably not safe.
No, totally safe. I mean, that was
safe for the 80s, though.
Yeah,
It
absolutely.
was a designated safe zone.
It was 80s safe.
It was before they had the child on board stickers. You just actually put your child in the window. That way people knew.
Yeah, it's rough. So, Gus, you'll definitely have to post a link to that.
Yeah, it was really, really
Yeah,
great.
that's brutal.
If you're into old cars crashing,
My-
I can't imagine like being the person who's organizing this event and being like, okay, we need to find a car from 1959 that's in pristine condition that looks awesome. Everything about it needs to be perfect, so we can fucking total it.
But actually, when you see the video, I mean, it's a very clear illustration of how much those safety standards have changed, which is nice because it seems like everything we talk about these days is how nothing is as good as it used to be. And here's a very clear example of, you would have been essentially a hamburger if not for this car, with the modern safety standards.
Do you think they could take one of the Malibus and like put it through a Model T?
Yeah, exactly. It would tear the shit out of a chariot.
I'd love to see a horse and a 2009 car go head to head.
Shit, just go to break. You see it all the time.
Oh, that's right. The horse won. I forgot
The
about
horse
that.
kicked the shit out of that car.
Horse fucking tried to go up and over, fucking crush that thing.
Dude.
Man, if I'm driving down the highway and I see a horse, I mean, that's not. I always wonder, like, those weird scenarios where, Jack says I hit something. That's something you expect to kind of happen, and your mind might just not catch up. But there's always scenarios like where a plane crashes into a house. You can't possibly figure that out for like 2 or 3 minutes as to what happened.
Yeah.
Why did my house just explode for no reason?
Why am I on fire? What's going on?
What is this huge metal thing? There was a cool thing that I saw recently while we're talking about vehicles, where a company has developed I don't know why nobody thought of this earlier. They developed a front wheel for a bike, like a kid's bike. Jeff, you just bought your daughter a bike, didn't you?
I did, her first bike.
It's got a gyroscope in the front wheel, so the wheel doesn't tip over.
Oh, that's awesome.
Instead of training wheels, you just have a gyroscope for a front wheel.
That's brilliant.
Yeah, except it seems like it'd be very hard to turn. I don't know how much you remember about using gyroscopes.
No, turning
have to
is
lean,
fine. You
wouldn't you?
can't. It's just the leaning that would be hard. The turning should be fine.
Leaning is a component of turning, though, in a way.
Well, if
On
you're
a
going
bike,
if you're going
yeah.
super fast, maybe. But when you're learning how to ride a bike, you're not going that fast.
Speaking of
It's pretty cool, though, instead of training wheels.
Speaking of cool inventions with vehicles, I was listening to NPR this morning, and they were talking about how this company in Oshkosh, Wisconsin, just developed a new kind of Humvee called an MATV, I think, for troops in Afghanistan. That is like because this goes back to that when you were on the plane. We talked about it a couple weeks ago.
Yep.
With the guy that it is like IED proof, and it's like weighs like 20,000 pounds.
Holy shit!
And the bottom of it is a V. So if there's an explosion under it, it disperses out all the shrapnel and all the force to the sides of it, and because of the weight, it can't go up in the air. So it's essentially like totally safe from any kind of unexploded ordnance.
Luckily, they'll be using this in the Middle East, right where all the oil is, so they can just plug a pipeline
I don't know what
directly into the gas tank.
I don't know what the gas mileage is. It's also like 19 feet long.
Yeah,
Like,
instead of
kind of crazy.
an electrical cord, it's got like an oil hose that just runs
Yep.
off the back. You have to keep it plugged in at all points in time. 20,000 pounds.
Yeah.
Why not just drive like a bulldozer? Just drive a tank around. Tank's not going to get blown up by an IED either.
Apparently, like the core of this thing though is it's the V technology, like, like that at the bottom that it just like as soon as something blows up, it just goes whoop right off the side.
Does it make that noise?
Harnessing the power of the alphabet for the good of humanity.
This portion of the podcast brought to you by the Alabama Schools Geometry Department. You know, I got to say, while we're on the subject of math in schools, it doesn't make sense, the math that we teach high schoolers. It doesn't make any sense at all. Like, why would you learn geometry and algebra, but you don't learn finance? You don't learn, like, hardcore percentages. Like, why don't we have a personal finance class as our basic entry level for mathematics in high school?
In general math studies in the 9th grade, they did teach me how to balance a checkbook.
They did teach you that?
Yeah.
I didn't learn
How
that.
many percentage? Because you guys were all taking like algebra 2 and trigonometry and shit.
I took fucking general
I
math
was
when I was
taking-
like in 4th grade.
I was taking idiot math.
I took like a Czech class, something
Yeah.
like that. Yeah, it was like part of like health or something like that. They came in for like 2 days.
Mine lasted 10 months.
I think a personal finance class and a typing class should be mandatory.
Oh, I agree. Well, I think cursive is gone now, so cursive needs to be replaced.
They can
by
replace that.
typing.
They can replace that with fucking spelling because all you people are morons.
Take it easy.
God damn, I'm fucking pissed off about people who can't spell anymore.
Well, technology's going to take care of all that
There's
anyway.
spell checks, and the technology should take care of it already.
Dude, everyone who spells "you-are" as in like the letter "you are" and like they replace what they say with that makes me want to punch a baby. I hate when people do that shit.
We have actually talked about putting in certain words into the website that if you type them,
Do it.
they're not typos.
Absolutely do it.
They are just you trying to spell things in a very dumb way that automatically bans you for a certain amount of time.
Yeah.
We call it the grammar hammer.
The grammar hammer, right?
But it doesn't exist yet.
My
Or
Absolutely
does
do
it?
that.
My least favorite is COS instead of because. Cos. I don't even understand that. It makes no sense at all.
Yep.
Like when I type BC, I mean, that's an abbreviation. That makes sense. Cos. Yikes.
My least favorite. My pet peeve right now is changing could've COULD apostrophe VE to COULD space OF.
Could of.
Could of people do that?
Yes, I see that all the fucking time, and it's driving me insane.
I thought you were going to say
Lord.
coulda.
Coulda.
Yeah. Wow.
God damn.
Guys, it's okay.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
You'll be fine. You'll be fine.
Gav's not here for me to yell at, so I had to yell at the people who are listening instead. I just placed in the other direction.
Okay, well, here's a funny story that I read the other week that I thought, since we're talking about dumb people, there were girls, and I don't know if they were in Holland or where they were, but there were girls that were rescued from a fake Big Brother. I'll read you the...
Oh, that was in Turkey.
Is in Turkey? 9 young women tricked into joining a fake reality show and kept isolated for 2 months were rescued by the police on Tuesday. The women, some as young as 16, were kept confined in a villa in the Burkoy district of Istanbul, and videos of them in the house were sold over the internet. According to the reports, organizers of the fake show placed advertisements in newspapers that called for, quote, contestants to compete in a reality show like Big Brother that will be broadcast on FX TV, and interviewed dozens of would-be contenders. So they rescued these girls because they weren't allowed to make phone calls or anything like that.
Speaking of which,
Jesus.
we're going to be having a reality TV show here.
Yeah, that just sounds like a reality TV show that went bad.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
yeah. I mean, they were broadcasting and selling it on the internet. That sounds legit to me.
What is it? What is a fake reality show?
Yeah.
I don't think they were actually broadcasting on TV. I think like they were.
So it was a web series.
They were recording them in private, like without them knowing, and then wouldn't let them talk to any of their family or leave if they wanted to.
That's a reality
That's
show.
a reality show.
That's Big Brother.
They will let you leave a reality show if you want to leave.
I'm sure they signed some sort of model release form, right?
A model release form that covers imprisonment.
There's a very fine line between fake reality show and reality show that just didn't get their TV deal.
I guess
Yeah.
so. I guess so.
I mean, they don't know going in that they're going to get their TV deal for sure.
Have you ever seen the reality show Solitary?
No.
It's on Fox Reality. It's on Hulu actually. I think it's the most interesting idea for reality game show I've ever seen. Basically, they have 9 people in an octagonal. Is that how you say it? Octagonal.
Yeah.
Octagonal
room. And all it is them by themselves, and there's a TV monitor that has like a little robot voice, like a HAL type voice. And when they compete, they just compete with themselves, and then they go as long as they can, and they choose to quit. And so only you can say when you stop, but you don't know when your opponents quit. So like basically, you're trying to think, have I gone longer than one other person who's dropped out? It's a really, really interesting idea, and I suggest you check it out if you get a chance. If you like that kind of stuff.
Okay.
How can they possibly put that on TV though? Because you don't know when the show's going to end.
Well, no, it's like 9 people. They knock out one person probably a day or two, and then they edit it all after it's done.
Oh, they edit. Okay. Thanks for the clarification. I was really confused until you threw that in there.
No. But like, I mean, it's crazy because like they mess with these people. Like, for example, like they'll let them sleep. Like they'll
What's that is? No, that's fucked up, dude. No,
okay. Let me
come on.
No, like
Did they give them water? Because that would be nuts.
No, so they'll go to bed, and then once they know everyone's asleep, they'll give them 30 minutes and wake them up, and then tell them they've been asleep for 8 hours.
Oh,
like,
wow.
Like shit like that. And it's really, really neat. It's definitely a mindfuck.
So it's like Scientology.
Exactly like Scientology.
Oh, no big deal.
Man, I've been tired lately. I wonder if someone's doing that to me. Like rolling back the clock.
They
Here's
can't
what I
fall
understand.
for that shit, though.
No, they know what they're doing going in.
I mean, they can't fall for the 8 hours and 30 minutes thing.
Sure
They do,
If
absolutely.
they keep
People
them
are
like
fucking
out
stupid.
away from sunlight,
Fuck sunlight.
inside all the time.
I wouldn't fall for that.
If you were
I
in
know
this
what 8
room,
hours
this
sleep.
room we're in right now, if you slept like even not 30 minutes, if someone let you sleep on that couch for an hour and a half, then woke you up and were like, you've been asleep 8 hours. Come on, we got to get to work. You get up and get to work.
I got a wristwatch.
If you, goddamn.
You're goddamn.
Well, did you hear about the guy who got stuck in the elevator for a
Yeah.
whole weekend?
Yeah.
Like he was, and he thought he'd been in there for like a day and a half, and he was in there for like 60
Like a
hours.
day and 3/4.
Yeah. No, it was more than that. It was like 3 days.
I got special army training. It wouldn't work on me.
He thought he was in there for a day and a half. He was in there for 2 days. What a wacko.
He lost 12 hours.
Joke's on him.
And now he has X-ray vision. He's living in the future.
Welcome to the Full Length Podcast, Jack.
All right,
You're doing great, by the way.
I'm sitting in the Gav seat today.
Tell us some more shit we don't care about.
Yeah, that dude's sad because he keeps going up to the camera that's in the elevator and like waving to
Yeah.
it, trying to get someone to get him out of there, and he see him crumpled up in the floor.
Talking
trying
about
to sleep.
Gavin?
Yeah, pretty much. That's how we put him in the box in the back room.
Oh, I high-fived Gavin today so hard he hit himself in the face. I just want to say that so we can put on the link dump.
You're like an asshole, big brother.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Hopefully I can get that video. Who recorded that?
Gav did with his camera video crazy thing.
All right, I'll have to steal that and see if I can
Well, he
get
said
the
he was
video.
going to put it up, so now he has
Camera,
to.
video, crazy thing.
No, it's like a camera phone.
That is
video.
crazy.
Dude.
You don't see those often.
No, it does freaking like slow mo, like super slow mo.
It's all downhill, Jack. It's all downhill.
Wait a minute. So his camera is a phone? I just want to make sure I got this right. Because when Gus has to fucking go to NASA to find the link dump for this, I want to make sure we have all the information we need. He has a cell phone that's a camera.
Yes.
Wow.
I think I've actually link dumped his phone before.
Yeah, because he has the one that does like 800 frames a second,
Does it 100 frames a second.
which you absolutely have to have for
In
a
your
cell
cell phone.
camera.
Yeah.
I wonder why don't we have that technology here in the U.S.
I
Seems
know.
so helpful.
Thanks for nothing, LG.
Is it? Yeah, it is an
It's
LG,
an LG
isn't
phone,
it?
yeah.
I always think it's a Nokia.
He
but I
told me he
guess
was
it's
about
LG.
to switch carriers in the UK to get the iPhone, but now Orange has signed a deal where they have broken away from the exclusive carrier for the iPhone, and now Orange and O2 will have it. I think it's called O2, maybe called Oxygen. But now he'll be able to, because he is an Orange customer, he will now be able to get an iPhone.
That's awesome for him.
Oh, did you enable MMS this week?
Yes.
What is that?
It's so you can text images and shit.
I love when people complain about a feature endlessly, and then we get it, and it doesn't matter.
I use it constantly.
MMS?
Yeah, I'm glad we have it because I used to receive MMSs. Well, I do
Yeah.
receive MMSs a lot, and it's a fucking pain in the ass if your phone doesn't support it.
That
Plus,
shitty
like-
website.
Plus, like, if you
Yeah.
take a picture with your phone and you want to, if I want to send it to my wife, I got to fucking drop out and email it to her through my iPhone, whereas now I can just click on it and say, send to this phone number. Much faster.
Yeah, but it's the same. Like when you click on the photo
your phone.
on your phone,
Give me your phone.
email photo and send via MMS or right
Oh,
next
right
to each
there.
other.
Yeah, except now I have to... But it doesn't email it, but then it emails it to, like, her Yahoo Mail, and then she has to go into her Yahoo Mail.
But she can get
to
that on her
fucking
phone
get it.
also.
She can get that on her phone.
Yeah, but it's more steps. Also,
It's the same amount of
also you have to
It's the
type an
same
email
am-
address. It's not the same amount of steps.
No, it's not. I agree with you on this one, Jeff.
Thank you, Jack. You and I always eye to eye.
It's exactly the same.
It's not exactly the same.
No,
thing.
it's not.
If both people have iPhones, it's the exact same process.
You would hit the mail button instead of hitting the message button.
No, you can even do it from the photo.
Here.
No,
like,
I'm saying to get the message.
Oh,
to
right,
get the-
right,
check this
exactly.
out. You got an email?
This is great content for the
It is.
podcast. A physical
We'll do it
demonstration.
later. It's faster.
Yeah. Okay, we'll have a speed test.
Yeah, definitely.
We can do that. We can record that too.
Yeah, we'll see.
I still think
I'll wait to get the video from you, Jack, and then when I get it, I'll put that in the
All
link.
right, we'll shoot it on Gav's
Some sort of a crazy phone.
Gav's camera that is also a phone.
Now I will say this: when they do introduce tethering, that will be a big feature.
Well, that's available now if you have your phone unlocked. Like if you have the black market apps or whatever. That sounds
That's
bad.
illegal.
You jailbreak your phone.
Jailbreak. Yeah. Is it illegal?
I can't condone that.
As far as I know, it's against the terms of whatever.
I guess that's true.
You know,
I've never done it, but I know it can be done.
yeah.
You know a guy who knows.
I know a guy.
I just
You can buy some
I
stuff
know a
from.
guy who's read the internet before. It's not a big deal. You're not a fucking hacker. You followed a how-to on goddamn Google.
I'll be perfectly honest. At this point in my life, that kind of stuff is just it. I like to read about it and read that other people are doing it. I just don't care.
Yeah,
I'm
why-
not going
I
to
mean,
mess with it.
Well, I mean, before the App Store was out, it was kind of cool. Now that the App Store's out, it's like anything you really want, you can probably find in the App Store for free.
Yeah, it's like when I read, they broke the DVD or Blu-ray encryption in 2 days. It's like, yeah, well, good for them. I'll rent from Netflix, thanks. I don't want to go out. I don't want to spend all my day BitTorrenting and applying patches. Or I can get the chip online and break open my console and put it in. Thanks.
The only thing that encryption being broken is useful for is for like backing up and ripping your own physical media. That's about it.
That's great. I'm not going to do that.
No, I do that sometimes. Like if I don't want to take a DVD with me on a trip and I want to watch a movie,
I might do that.
I'll rip it to my hard drive, and that's about it. And I feel that's fair use. It's my fucking disc. I can do that.
No, yeah, I wouldn't argue that, but I would say instead of doing that, I'm just going to click iTunes and get it for 24 hours. And that's it.
That's a great point.
You're allowed like one physical or one digital copy of any of your media, right? Like
No.
legally, you're allowed.
No,
Really?
legally you're
Allowed
not
by
allowed that.
who?
By the law.
Mr. Law?
No, I thought like seriously, I thought like you could have a backup copy of your physical media, and that
Nope.
was completely legal.
Nope.
You should prove that.
You should.
You should prove your fucking point. Why the fuck do I have to prove?
Why's the burden of proof always on Gus?
How come it's on me?
It'll be in the fucking link dump, making you look like an idiot.
All right, well,
Oh,
yeah,
snap.
I'm sure
You know,
that
I
will
would-
make me look like an idiot.
I just watched my first Blu-ray.
Sorry, I forgot.
disc.
Your face does that job. for
Exactly.
you.
Thank you.
All right, guys. Bernie watched his first Blu-ray.
Well, as part of my PS3 experiment.
How's that going? You still PS3 in it?
Yeah.
What are you playing right now?
Gus gave me Metal Gear Solid 4. And
Oh,
I
shit.
and I quote unquote played some of that.
You played the movie.
Yeah, I hit play and I watched it, for a while.
That game's a perfect 10.
I played Uncharted. I finished Uncharted and I loved it. I thought about going back and getting my first platinum trophy in Uncharted. I just don't think I'm going to do it.
I got to say, you let me sit down with Uncharted for about 45 minutes the other day. It was a blast.
And you like the voice acting.
It's great voice acting. I don't know what it is about that. I don't know how to describe it, but like once you watch like the first 10 minutes, you're like, this really is like another level of voice acting, right?
And those cutscenes are really good cutscenes.
They are.
It feels like a movie.
I was completely and totally immersed in it.
I'd like to borrow that if you're done with it. Anyway, what else are you saying about the
Well,
PS3?
the Uncharted 2 demo is going to come out today.
Oh, shit, that's right,
For
yeah.
the public today.
The game
So-
comes out October 13th, I think.
Yeah. So I watched 12 Monkeys on Blu-ray because I hadn't seen it in a long time and I didn't remember it being a very good movie, and everyone seemed to like it a lot.
What'd you think?
Everyone seems to like it a lot, and I still thought it wasn't a very good movie.
I remember enjoying it, but I don't remember much about it.
I like it.
It's I guess you're supposed to think there's some kind of big twist in it, like kind of the story turns back on itself. But to me it was fairly straightforward. But it was weird because it didn't fill my entire screen. The Blu-ray. I was really excited about seeing Blu-ray, and it must not have been a good transfer because it didn't look that great.
I have that movie on HD DVD actually, and it's a mediocre transfer on HD DVD.
I have Batman on HD DVD too, and it's the first Batman, the Tim Burton one. No, Tim Burton?
Yeah, Tim Burton.
Yeah,
He did the
Tim
first
Burton
two.
one. And that one was, that was mediocre too. I was really disappointed by that on HD DVD.
Hey,
So it all depends.
So have you seen a good Blu-ray?
No, I didn't want to watch Doubt as my first Blu-ray movie, so I waited for 12 Monkeys.
What about Twister? That was always the thing they demoed DVD with. I remember.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, it seems like that
Twister and Fifth
some
Element.
movies come out at a good point in time where they come out when a format comes out and they do really well, like Matrix.
Yes. Matrix fucking move DVD player.
Matrix on DVD, and then a movie that nobody would have bothered watching had it not been for DVD was The Fifth Element.
I love that movie.
The Fifth Element was in every HD magazine. If they showed a home theater, it was The Fifth Element up on the screen for the pictures.
Not a great movie.
Well, because it's so colorful and has all that. It's Luc Besson, right? And
Yeah.
he
Yeah.
does stuff like that all the time.
Hey, I want to roll
Yeah.
it back for a second.
I know. My Luc Besson fan letter. I just look forward to that every week.
I will say this though. You know what? Luc Besson wrote Taken.
Oh, snap!
he did The Professional too, right?
Yeah.
So I guess I can't make too many jokes about Luc Besson.
You were talking about Tim Burton's Batman. Did you see that photo? I don't know if it's a new photo or something.
God.
I saw it a couple days ago. The supposed leaked photo of Nicolas Cage, in a test Superman outfit.
It looks like a shitty Halloween costume.
When Tim Burton was going to do Superman.
No.
It looks terrible. I will put it in the link dump, but
Dude, that's awesome.
It's like a joke how bad it looks.
yeah, you look at it, it's like, is that a wax dummy that's supposed to look like Nicolas Cage wearing a Superman outfit?
but it's like
a Bizarro Superman outfit?
But it's like Nick Cage with like flowing long hair.
like Con Air hair Nicolas Cage.
Con hair.
Do you know what the legacy of the Nicolas Cage's turn as Superman, which never happened? Do you know what that ended up doing to that Superman project?
Killed it, didn't it?
It killed the Kevin Smith script.
Yeah.
Because he was the guy who basically acts the Kevin Smith version of Superman.
Which was a good script. I read it way back in the day.
Do you know why he killed it? What his main complaint about it was?
Spider.
No.
He said that in one of the scenes, he's getting shot at and Superman ducked behind a rock. And Superman doesn't duck behind a rock. That's what he said.
Nick
that's
Cage
it.
said this?
No.
Fucking dump the script.
Apparently he really did not like it.
Wow.
Did it have too many words?
That's too much reading.
Who knows?
Is he from Alabama?
Yeah.
Where's Nicolas Cage from?
Alabama.
I don't know.
No, he's a Coppola, right?
Yeah, I would guess.
Yeah.
I would guess
Somewhere-
California somewhere.
Yeah.
Yikes.
From the Vineyard.
I'm actually looking at this photo right now. It's terrible.
Oh man.
Oh no, I'll put it in the link. Don't worry.
Oh, dude, I saw the Imaginarium of Dr. Parnassus, Heath Ledger's last film, the Terry Gilliam movie. Really good. Really, really. I mean, it's definitely a twisted movie. If you've ever seen a Terry Gilliam movie, he does some weird stuff.
I hear people love 12 Monkeys.
He
That's
did
a
12
Terry
Monkeys.
Gilliam
Yeah,
movie.
there you go. Yeah. There you go. Duh. But like the last movie I saw of his was Tideland, which was a really fucked up film.
I thought he peaked at Time Bandits.
Yeah, but this one's really good. I enjoyed it. It's more straightforward than a traditional Gilliam film, but the imagery in it's really, really good.
Didn't he do that Brothers Grimm movie?
Yes,
He did.
Man, that
Yeah, that's right.
sucked.
It was
It was Heath
Was it
Ledger,
Heath Ledger
right?
was in
Heath
that,
Ledger,
yeah.
Matt Damon, I think, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
That movie-
right.
That movie was fucking.
I didn't realize Terry Gilliam did that one.
I do like Terry Gilliam, but that was not a good movie.
But yeah, this one's really cool. And there's a girl in the movie named Lily Cole, redhead. Oh, so very hot.
That's not real,
I'm showing
That's-
Jeff the picture of Nicolas Cage as Superman right now.
dude. That looks like it looks like they superimposed his face on an action figure.
It looks like there's some kind of prosthetic device to give him muscles.
By the way, that's a dude that needs a fucking tan or something going on.
yeah, that's a bad picture too.
is-
It's like they intentionally trying to make it look as bad as possible.
Yeah.
But no one's come out to say no, that's not right. So does that mean it's legit?
I didn't say it looked unrealistic. I just said it looks bad.
No, but I'm saying no one from Warner Brothers, not Tim Burton, Nick Cage. No one said that's not real.
Did anybody see
It's on the internet, so it has to be real, Jack.
I just read the headline, but supposedly the company that owns Terminator rights filed for bankruptcy, and now the Terminator rights are up for sale again.
Again?
Is that Studio Canal? Is that?
I don't know,
That's interesting.
but it's supposedly Terminator is the most sold property of all time.
Apparently, it's the property that bankrupts the most amount of companies. Too.
Yeah, no kidding.
I guess Sarah Connor Chronicles didn't take off like they hoped.
I think
Speaking of which,
Go ahead.
sorry, fucking Dollhouse.
Oh, I haven't seen it yet. Please don't spoil it.
No, I hate Dollhouse. And, they were going to axe it after the first season. And, there's a big petition online. And it was like, gotta save it. Everyone's going to watch it. It's going to be great. Fucking season 2 premiere, even lower ratings than the season 1 finale.
It is true. It is true.
It's just been on this fucking nosedive.
I will say the first season started out really bad and then got very good towards the end. And I haven't seen any of the second season because I've been without TV.
I think the point that Gus is making here is here's yet another show.
Oh, yeah,
where we went through the whole internet petition process. Then the show comes back on the air, and nobody watched it.
Nobody follows through.
Well, I guess
Everybody signs a petition, but then nobody watches
I mean,
the show.
the only show that's come back that's actually succeeded, quote unquote, would be Family Guy, right?
But that wasn't brought back because of a petition. That was
DVD
brought back
sales.
because people bought the DVDs.
Yeah.
And then
It
once
was brought
again,
back for a concrete reason.
that's money.
That's what makes. If you want a show to be on the air and you like it, you've got to support it in the more traditional manners. Otherwise, just watch web stuff and that's it.
ReceivStore.com/DVDs.html.
Speaking of
Look for Red vs. Blue recreation coming this fall.
speaking of stuff coming back on air, did anybody watch the first episode of The Office,
Yes.
season 6?
No.
I've seen the first, not the second episode.
Man, season 5 was a roller coaster of good and suck, but that was a funny fucking episode.
That was the one.
It started off with the parkour
The
stuff.
parkour. Which did you hear about the whole web soup thing?
No, I don't know what that is.
So Web Soup, which is Chris Hardwick's show, the guy who used to host Single Out. He works with G4
I know who
now.
it is, yeah.
He has a show called Web Soup, which is clips from the web, and they literally did an office parkour thing almost exactly like The Office, like 3 months ago.
Oh, really?
And literally, you can watch both of them. It's Chris Hardwick jump around yelling like hardcore parkour and knocking shit over. And then you see Michael Scott bouncing through, knocking shit over, yelling parkour.
The difference is everyone saw it on The Office. No one saw it on this.
That's
thing.
obviously true.
So is Web Soup on television?
Yeah, it's on G4.
That makes sense.
And
So
also,
wait.
no, they had Web Soup and then Tosh.0, which is like the Comedy Central thing.
How many of those shows are there? Isn't there like
Those-
Best Week Ever?
Those are the big two, is Tosh.0 and
There
then
used
Web
to be
Soup.
one with Patrice O'Neill on VH1 as well.
Well, best whatever have been going for a while now.
Yeah. And then way back in the day, we had fucking Real TV with Ahmad Rashad.
Was that web stuff?
Yeah.
Well,
same
Yeah, same idea. It was Real TV, and what was the other one? X, Maximum
X.
Exposure.
Yeah, that was a good one.
I think Max X might still be on.
was a great
I think you
show.
might still see it, midnight on Saturdays or whatever.
After USA Up All Night?
It was before Break.com and before BigBoys.com.
Yeah, it's
when you
true.
want to watch people get in car wrecks or catch fire, you'd have to turn your TV on.
way back in the day, you had to go to this thing called Hardcore TV that Bernie and I used to go to. It was something they posted in the IGN forums, and that was where we'd find all
Oh
those
shit! I
things.
forgot about Hardcore TV. Yeah.
Well, this is like 98, 99.
Yeah, man, that was a
the
long
shit.
time ago.
There was stuff that they posted back then that I still haven't seen
You know,
anywhere else.
the thing that I remember from then, I think we talk about it every now and then, and I'm sorry, I'm not gonna be able to find this for the link dump, is that video of the Jeep like driving up the side of the mountain, and the dude's like, "Yeah, drive up the mountain." It's like the guy with the camera's like, "Yeah, you're doing it." And then the Jeep like hits a rock, it starts like flipping backwards down the mountain. The guy with the camera's like, "No, no!" He goes from like sheer jubilation to like bawling tears in an instant.
That's awesome.
Man, I got a thing with Bernie the other day where we were sending videos of miniature planes back and forth, of planes just exploding. Like those guys who spend like $20,000 on a miniature jet, and then like it flipping and just crashing into the ground into a ball of flame.
Do they cry?
Oh yeah. Oh, you can hear the guys just like pure shock on their face, like that. Oh, I worked so hard just to, and literally just like a puff of smoke.
Was it like you? Was it like you and your Chevy Nova?
Oh god.
Did they hit their mom's car, their mom's friend's car? They're like, "Oh."
My car didn't explode though.
Yeah,
Not
you
really.
know how I like pockets of enthusiasts on the internet. Like you run into people that you've never seen before, and they have one thing that's the most important thing in their life, and they dedicate their entire existence to it. That was these people. I mean, they had miniature jets. I mean, the guy would be sitting there flying a deadly jet with a remote control. The thing was probably 15 feet long.
Yeah, they were big.
Whoa! I was picturing
Jesus,
I was
really?
picturing
No,
like
they're
a
to scale,
small
man.
RC plane.
No,
these things
crazy.
are huge.
I mean, they sound like jets taking off.
Yeah, it's
It
like
was
literally like
pretty
jet
crazy.
fuel to pilot these things or
Well,
fly
I
these things.
feel
Wow.
bad for those guys now.
No,
Maybe they should have spent some of the money that they spent on the jet on fucking flying lessons.
no. What happened on this one? I saw like the guy was barrel rolling and he got upside down and just pulled up and just went straight into the ground.
You hear somebody off screen go, "There goes 20 grand."
Anybody yell goose?
Yeah. Okay, here I'm gonna play this for you just so you can hear it. Here, the thing. Here,
What is it? What is it?
It's a jet.
Oh, this
Is it a mini
the
jet?
video.
Hopefully you'll be able to hear it. Hopefully it'll be like right off the bat. God damn it! Fucking YouTube, dude.
That
Fucking
couldn't,
YouTube.
that couldn't have been planned any better.
Great. Now I have to cut all that fucking licensed music.
Man,
No, it was less than 8 seconds.
why is it the first step everybody learns in editing video is to take their favorite like Limp Bizkit song, or something, and just put it over the top of an actually interesting video?
Remember
Man.
the first time I've heard Kenny Loggins put over a video though.
Gosh,
Bernie, have you started watching Fringe yet?
Friends.
Fringe,
Fringe.
Oh, Fringe. No.
dude. So you had never seen the show before I told you to watch that one clip, right?
Nope.
Yeah, I told Bernie to watch. Okay, anyone out there who hasn't seen Fringe, it's on Hulu right now. I just ask you to watch the first episode of the second season leading up to the credits. Like right before the actual credit sequence starts, it's 5 minutes of incredible, tense sci-fi. It's really, really cool. I liked it.
Okay.
It has Joshua Jackson in it. That's
Yeah, you've got no allies in this room, my friend.
So is it like Dawson's Creek in space?
It
then?
totally is. It's like Pacey just crying over stuff.
It is. Isn't J.J. Abrams a producer? They have his name slathered all
Yeah.
over. Is he actually involved with it, or do they just use his name?
I think he actually wrote that episode, the one I'm talking about. Like he's written a few episodes.
They got his non-union Mexican equivalent, Juan Abrams. They put his name on there.
Hey, speaking of famous people writing stuff, did you guys see that the season premiere of The Simpsons was written by Seth Rogen?
Yeah, I saw that.
And it's only the second time a guest actor has written an episode of The Simpsons?
Was it Michael Jackson, the other one?
No. Do you know who it was?
It was Seth Rogen and the other person. It was Ricky Gervais.
Yeah, Gervais.
Ricky Gervais was the only other person to write an episode of The Simpsons. And that was a good episode he wrote, too.
Do you know, I heard
it was all right.
When Michael Jackson died, I heard that they couldn't get the rights for Michael Jackson to sing on The Simpsons, so the Michael Jackson episode of The Simpsons is actually sung by somebody else.
What?
No.
No, I think I heard about that, too.
Really?
Yeah. Like, it was never actually Michael Jackson.
Lisa, it's your birthday?
Lisa, yeah.
Yeah.
That's not him singing that. They had a Michael Jackson impersonator sing it.
Where are they going to find
What?
one of those?
Yeah.
That sounds like the hardest thing ever.
I did not know that. I'm in shock now.
So
You seem a little.
I'm
fucking-
frazzled.
So are there going to be more or less Michael Jackson impersonators now?
I don't know.
Probably more for a while.
Well, they were
and
dropped-
then down,
Yeah.
and then back up.
They were dropping off quite a bit.
Yeah.
I don't know if the impersonation thing is as big as it used to be.
I always wanted to get like a Billy Crystal impersonator to like come to a party. Just like rent a Billy Crystal impersonator for
Why?
a day.
Why?
Why not?
Who the fuck would want to talk to Billy Crystal?
Exactly. Get drunk and just harass the poor Billy Crystal impersonator.
That sounds like a.
That's
like
not
a
hilarious?
horrible, no.
It doesn't.
No.
It doesn't seem to be as big a thing to me. When I was younger, it seemed that someone who could do impression of a president or of a famous star was a very big deal. But I don't. You have those guys now on the web doing those 100 voices.
Yeah,
in 100 seconds,
Or like
and
the Frank
none-
Caliendos.
None of them
Frank
sound like
Caliendo.
the guy.
Hey, have you seen the documentary? You can get it through Netflix. Confessions of a Superhero.
I met that guy.
Yes.
Have you seen it, Jeff?
No, I can't. It's in my queue, and I can't bring myself to watch it because the trailer is so sad that I just don't want to feel bad for those people for 2 hours.
It's hard to watch at times. It's
Yeah.
it's very hard. And if, for people who don't know, it's just a documentary that follows the people in L.A. who dress up like superheroes in front of Mann's Chinese Theater, or what's it called, Grumman's Chinese
Grumman's.
Theater, and take pictures with tourists. It's really depressing.
They're creepy people too.
Yeah, there's the Batman guy's a little unstable.
You can get on your Roku.
Yeah? No, I know
Yeah.
it's in my queue. I just can't bring myself to watch it. I did watch Man on Wire the other day though.
That movie's
on your
awesome.
recommendation. It was really good.
It won the Academy
recommendation.
Award.
Wasn't it yours?
Nuh-uh.
You haven't seen Man on Wire?
Nope.
Could've sworn it was you. Was
My
it
wife,
me.
my wife watched it. She said it was boring.
No, it was awesome.
The pacing of that was a little tough because you knew what he was going to do the entire movie,
Yeah, but-
and you had to sit through the whole thing watching. And
Didn't bother me at all.
yeah, I can see why you would enjoy the bohemian French lifestyle that guy is
Yeah,
promoting.
I did
promoting
like
the
that.
entire movie essentially.
It was nice.
Where him and his buddies are out in the middle of a field on a big high wire, just doing nothing all day. Essentially,
Oh, did you hear about the chick who dropped an F-bomb on Saturday Night Live?
Yeah,
That's
funny.
That's interesting.
I didn't watch it.
Her
Was
facial
it good?
expression was great.
Oh yeah. There goes my career.
No, they said they're not going to fire her. She's,
Well,
she's still around.
Are they going to get fined? I mean, what's going to happen?
No,
Like,
it was late at night, so the FCC, they're in the safe harbor, I think is what they call it.
It was like 12:30 or whatever.
Yeah, it was
Okay.
at 12:40 East Coast.
and it wasn't a nipple. So, oh my god, no, the world's not going to end.
well, it also wasn't during the Super Bowl halftime show. I mean,
do you remember seeing the actual halftime show when that
You
happened?
know
No.
what's fucking funny about that?
You can't see shit on the TV. It was so small.
What's fucking funny about that is I had just bought my TiVo, and I had just set it up, and I thought, wow, I got my TiVo set up for the first time ever just in time for the Super Bowl. I'm going to record the Super Bowl just to test it out. The fucking first thing is like the most controversial thing ever on television. I think I still have that TiVo like in my attic or something. It's like I could never bring myself to delete that.
Well,
That's awesome.
I mean, if you remember watching it, it was like literally when they were on the screen, they were very, very tiny on the screen, and like you couldn't see what happened. I mean, literally,
Yeah.
if you
And-
watch the actual footage from the broadcast feed,
Yeah, it was over instantly. Also.
yeah, and you couldn't see shit. Like it was like, did he just pull off her top? Whatever. I remember the guy running on the field before the third quarter started. No one remembers that. There was a streaker who ran on the field, and like I guess he was clothed, but he ran around the field for
Not
a little
much
bit.
of a streaker if he's closed.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like he's like one of the professional streakers that like has done like Wimbledon and soccer.
The
games and
professional
everything.
streakers.
Yeah, they exist, man.
He's
But
a card-carrying member.
the local 415 or whatever.
Local streakers and masons.
But I mean, like no one talks about that guy, and like that guy broke onto the field and was like on like this in the Houston Stadium or whatever, like right in the center of the
Did
field.
you see his dick?
No,
right, then.
There's your problem.
well, I looked really hard.
There was two interesting things I thought that came out of that event, that wardrobe malfunction. The first was that TiVo said after that it was the most rewound event in the history of the TiVo.
That was
because I just had
scary.
my TiVo. It was me single-handedly doing it. Over
But
and
it
over.
was scary to realize they could tell what people not only were watching, but how they were watching it.
Yep.
That they could see that people were rewinding at that moment.
I remember you and I being very disturbed by that because we both had TiVos at the time.
Yeah, and we have identifying information on our TiVo that says what we're watching. That's pretty creepy.
Yep.
The other weird thing about that was that you guys remember about 3 years ago, I went to the University of Illinois and I did a speech at the University of Illinois.
Oh, yeah. Uh-huh.
One of the other speakers that was there was a guy by the name of, I'm going to pronounce it wrong, but it's Jawed Karim, and he is the third dude that founded YouTube that you never hear about. You always hear about Chad and Steve. And Jawed was a guy who started it with them, then enrolled at graduate school, so he left YouTube to go work at graduate school. And he talked about just the spike where YouTube did nothing. They couldn't get anyone to post any videos on YouTube.
They were trying to pay girls on Craigslist to submit videos. I remember that.
Yep. They tried they were going to
Nice.
pay girls $100 a pop on. They advertised on LA Craigslist.
Nice.
And said, if you're a hot girl and you post a video on YouTube, we'll pay you $100.
Wow.
And they had a video of the three of them sitting in one of their garages probably about 6 months before the site broke wide open, and they made $1.7 billion selling it to Google. Where they're sitting around, they're like, "What are we going to do? I don't know. Things aren't going the way we hoped. This sucks." And then the video cuts off. Like they're just kind of hapless sitting there discussing this. Anyway, he said that what really helped skyrocket them was two major events. And the first was the Super Bowl event. Because it happened, everybody wanted to see it, and yet it literally could not be shown on television again. So everybody went to YouTube to go see it. The other was when Tucker Carlson was ripped apart by Jon Stewart. So for some reason, that video in particular was one that made YouTube. He showed like stair steps in their traffic after those two events.
I would have thought Lazy Sunday would have been another one of those videos.
I think they were pretty well established by the time.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I thought Lazy Sunday and Tucker Carlson thing were around the same time.
No, I don't think so.
No, I think it was well after that.
Oh, well, fuck that. I'm stupid.
What I thought was very interesting is I'm sitting here listening to the speech and I'm just sitting here not saying anything, but I'm thinking, you just mentioned two things that are copyrighted,
Yeah.
non-original content that made YouTube what it is.
You're crediting for making YouTube what it is.
Exactly.
Two things you don't own.
You made $2 billion because stuff happened in the world.
It just
Yeah,
goes to
exactly.
show it's like Matrix on DVD or Fifth Element, right? It's right place at the right time.
Dude, if I was Janet Jackson, I'd be knocking on YouTube's front door wanting a fucking check.
I always told some of the guys we knew that we worked with that went off to YouTube instead of going the more traditional route that, YouTube probably owes them big fat checks.
Yeah, no kidding.
The more traditional route on the internet.
Well, build your own webpage,
Yeah.
as opposed to being an icon on YouTube. Somewhere.
We've always been big proponents of making your own webpage.
As always, I think we've talked about that before.
Yeah.
Here.
Probably.
Do you remember GeoCities back in the day? Like,
Yep.
Of course.
I remember making like 2 or 3 websites on GeoCities, and like
GeoCities, Tripod, Angel Fire.
I think
there's a ton of them.
it was geocities.com/Hollywood/lot/991. I don't know why.
Is that still around?
No, GeoCities got pulled down. There's nothing left.
No,
It's gone.
I thought they were part of Yahoo. I thought you could
No.
still visit those domains.
I'm pretty sure all GeoCities pages are down. It was the Lost World Jurassic Park comedy website I had made. It was
Nice.
my friend.
That does sound funny.
No, I met this guy. His guy named Dan. He did Dan's The Lost World Jurassic Park page, which was the biggest unofficial Lost World page, like fan site. And this is-
Wow.
Is there a lot of Lost World fans?
No,
out there?
well, I mean, like at the time, like
He had literally dozens of followers.
I mean, this is there we go. GeoCities is gone.
GeoCities is closing.
Oh, closing.
October 26, 2009.
Wow.
That's
So
sad.
a month from now, it'll be closed.
So sad. So go on there and make your GeoCities pages while you can.
There you go.
Get your animated GIFs ready.
But yeah, but my friend did the Lost World page, and then he went on to Dan's JP3 page, and he was actually, I mean, his
What else has he done?
he that was the thing. So he did this community site for Jurassic Park, and the guys at Digital Anvil here in Austin saw his page because he did a Wing Commander page, and they said they saw his sort of setup, and they're like, "Hey, do you want to do the official Wing Commander the movie page?" And so they flew him into Austin to do the Wing Commander the movie website, and he did it. And then they paid him and whatever. And I only knew him through the internet. And then he ended up getting a job in Austin, and he flew to Austin. And I got to meet him. Like,
Did he get to meet Matthew Lillard during that process?
No, we did go. We did go to the
It
premiere.
wasn't fucking worth it, was it?
He's in the movie though. He's got a line of dialogue in the movie. It's like one of the background ships or whatever.
Dude,
but.
this is so
And
fascinating.
he's the leading investor on Delgo.
I wonder if he knew our friend Paul that worked at Digital Anvil.
Ooh, dude, our friend Paul worked at Digital Anvil. Does he know him?
Does he
Can
know
you
Paul?
ask Dan if
Maybe.
does Dan know Paul?
I'll ask Dan.
All right, cool.
Great.
No, Dan's still around. He's
What hell are y'all talking about? What do you guys call Paul? Yeah, what I mean.
No, fuck that. I want to go through Jack's contacts.
I want to hear more. Though this will make Jack remember some more great stories.
It's like, what do you hope is going to come of that? Like, okay, great. We all know each other. That's great.
That's exactly what we hope.
He caught on to our
boy.
plan.
Then I'm gonna make a fan page about it.
You'll be happy to know that both Angel Fire and Tripod are still online.
God damn, really?
Great, good for them.
Man,
Tripod.
that's a talk about it. If you wanted to create a space on the internet to live where no one will ever find you, that's like that's where you should hide out.
You can get 20 megabytes of disk space.
Can you really?
Can I sign on with my Prodigy account?
That would be like a web page today. 20 megs. This is like one page. Dogster is still online too. You remember what Dogster is?
Dogster?
It was like a parody. Dogster is a parody of Friendster. It's Friendster for dogs.
Oh yeah, I do remember. It's probably more popular than Friendster.
Probably is.
Poor friends.
You know why? Because dogs are loyal. They don't go bolting when Facebook comes along. You know? Face Bark came along. And it fucking failed. Because dogs stick to their fucking guts.
That's it.
Dude, I don't know how we can top that.
Yeah, that's it.
So I showed Jeff a movie that I'm shutting my computer down here. I'm not going to try to surf the web for any more information or topics. I showed Jeff a video the other day with disc that I got from Netflix called Sex Drive. Do you guys remember that movie? We watched the trailer for it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome
Drive.
movie.
No,
Like
I
I ju-
don't remember.
I watched this movie. It's okay. It's pretty
No,
good.
it's really good.
But it is tailor-made for Jeff. It's almost like he wrote it.
I actually got depressed after I watched it because I thought, well, that would have been my point in life would be to write that movie, and now it exists. So what the fuck am I going to do? Maybe I can write the sequel.
I do remember some promotion for that movie. Yeah, it came out like last spring, maybe.
I
Right?
remember the donut with the gun. That's all I
Every
remember.
joke
Yeah.
about that movie, every joke in that movie is about a boner.
Yeah, pretty much.
So
pretty
great.
much. I was watching it. They talked about boners so much. I said, all right, I got to show this to Jeff.
That's your tag in ODST, right?
Yeah, of course.
Bonner.
What else? Would it be?
Bonner.
I remember there was one time when I was out, and I think you were single at the time, but I saw a girl. She was sitting at a table. Do you remember the circumstance of this? She was sitting at a table. I kept texting you because I said, this girl is like you. It's like a female version of you. We were definitely somewhere where you would get something to eat because when she got her food, she clapped, which is what you always do when you get food. You clap.
I do, well, or drinks, yeah.
Whatever. You just
Yeah,
like
yeah.
whenever somebody serves you something, you go yay and you clap, and that always makes a waitress laugh. I don't know why it's so stupid, but it works. And
Jealous.
she said that, and she said they said, "How's your food?" She goes, "Awesome. It gave me a boner." And I was like, "Holy cow!" I go, "Who is this girl that's here?" And she was cute too.
I don't know what the deal with that is.
Did
but
you step
you
through
should-
any
you-
portals on the way
You
to
should probably
lunch?
stay away from the girl with a boner.
Griffin better
Something's
watch
going
out.
on there.
That girl claps and talks about boners. That's it.
And she had no idea what a trapezoid was. So she was just like you.
She's from Mississippi.
And she failed trigonometry and geometry.
Not like I would ever even
That's true.
consider taking trigonometry.
Well, algebra's got some trigonometry in it a little bit. I mean,
yeah, I'm sure I didn't pass that.
have you ever in your life, Gus, have you ever had to figure out what the area under a parabola is?
Jeff,
Has that-
do you know what that means?
No.
Has that come up once?
No,
Ever.
never.
So they're literally teaching us things that we don't need to know.
Nope. No need for that.
Volume of a cylinder ever come up? Ever?
Yes, once. And not too long ago.
What for? Condoms or?
No.
That's a cylinder, right?
My mom bought a swimming pool, and I was trying to figure out how much water it took to fill it.
And your mom bought a cylindrical swimming pool?
Yeah, it was cylinder. It's like an above ground pool.
Oh, I see. Okay. Okay.
That's awesome.
That's it.
Did you figure it out?
Yeah, I did.
How much
figure
was it?
out. I don't remember now. It was weeks ago.
It just seems like that math is farmer, construction worker math. That's what we all
Yeah,
learn.
but at least the cylinder's real. You know, like that's an object you're going to deal with in everyday life. A fucking parabola?
yeah,
Are you ever going to build a suspension bridge?
probably not.
Exactly.
I haven't yet, but there's still a hold out hope that maybe that'll come up.
Bernie's got a lot of life left in us.
I do.
Let's see.
No, we did that in calculus in high school, man. We actually built a bridge to have real world experience building bridges. I don't know.
Did you really?
Yeah, we did.
Wow.
We built like a 50-foot long suspension bridge from. We had like an atrium area in our high school, and we built one. It literally suspended from one end to the other end of our atrium.
Dude, I'm learning
It was
so
awesome.
much about you.
How
today.
long did that take?
It was like a 2-month project. We had to
So for 2 months, you learned how to do one fucking thing in math class.
building
Too
bridges.
much better than I got. But
No, it's like we had normal class too, but then on as like
On the
projects.
weekend for fun, we got together and built this bridge.
Meanwhile, I watched him put a cup of coffee on a credit card earlier today. That has somehow escaped him, but he can build a bridge. Let's build our
you
bridge.
can't build the bridge to money.
I'm so glad Jack's here because I don't tell the worst stories anymore.
You're welcome.
God damn.
Gavin is not here. Have we talked about that yet? That Gavin's not here?
No.
Yeah, Gavin's not here this week, but he will be back next week before he's gone for good.
Will he?
Yes.
Nah, I don't know. We'll see.
We had to have kind of a weaning process from Gav. And Gav has gotten a bad rap on these podcasts.
I don't know. I think he's got a pretty honest rap.
No.
No,
Gavin has gotten a bad rap.
He's a piece of shit.
All right, well, that was my attempt. that was my attempt to defuse the situation. But Gavin agreed to step aside. Now I know why that conversation was so easy.
Stepped aside because I put a fucking cupcake in his ear earlier.
Hey, come on. I made those cupcakes.
Can we cut that shit out, please? We already talked about it with the trail mix.
Why you gotta fuck with food?
Why do people do people have to bring food into the office? Why are we like, hey, we can't eat this in our house. Let's give it to the trash can that is Rooster Teeth
I
Productions.
like that you're
cupcakes.
complaining that I brought cupcakes
Yeah.
to work.
They're
Fucking
just
cupcakes, dude.
They're
delicious.
We don't need to have a plate of 70 cupcakes in the
Dude.
office.
By the end of the day, there are going to be 18 cupcake
That's
wrappers
my
on your desk.
That's my point. That's my point.
That's my point.
I don't think we should have them here. I don't think we should have cupcakes here.
Maybe we should have self-control.
They're delicious. The
Instead of-
cupcakes are wonderful.
In addition to cupcakes, let's have self-control.
And let's be honest. I don't leave the wrappers on my desk. I leave them on other people's desks.
That's a good point.
With half-eaten cupcakes in them.
They should have drink soda.
We're going to go out in the kitchen. There's going to be 9 cupcakes with a bite taken out of each one of them.
They were cool, though. Your wife made these rainbow cupcakes.
Yeah, that was pretty awesome.
How many did she make?
We made like 36 of them. I
So
think.
that was like enough for 8 per person at the party? There's 36 out there now, and I was at that party.
There were like 30 or 40 people at the party, I think.
And
I thought there were way more than 36
so
there.
you had a
Maybe
90
there were, I don't know.
So you had a 90% pass rate on cupcakes?
No, there were tons of
You're asking-
cupcakes at the party.
You're asking Jeff to do math.
Yeah,
That's
I
not
don't.
gonna work.
There were a lot. If everybody had one, and we were all
What's the
going
percentage
8
of
miles an
people?
hour on a train, I don't fuck. How the fuck do I know? We made a lot of cupcakes.
Can you get a TI-83 and graph that out for us?
What's a TI-83?
I know that's
Jeff,
a.
you know what that is.
I know it's a
Instruments
calculator.
calculator.
There we go.
Really?
I knew Gus would know.
I used to have a dice rolling application on my TI-83 for when I played Dungeons & Dragons, so I couldn't find my dice. You could specify the number of sides, so even if a dice that couldn't possibly exist, you could roll.
By the way, are you going to make Dungeons and Dragons tonight? Or are you going to bitch out?
I'm going to bitch out, I think.
God damn, I'm going to play without you.
What's a dice that couldn't possibly exist?
Like a 7-sided die.
That's not possible? Jeff, you want to back him up on that?
Not possible. It's just geometry. He's not going to be able to help you.
That's true.
I can make a 7-sided die.
A 7-sided, 3-dimensional
I
die
bet I
that
bet
has
I-
an equal probability of falling on each of the 7 sides.
Oh, let's not get specific. I mean,
It's a fucking dice. That's what it does.
I could make a 14-sided die that has the numbers doubled.
What?
That's actually a good point.
There is no 14-sided die either.
But yeah, well, I bet I could do it. I bet I could do it.
Why not? There's a 12-sided die.
Just do an 8-sided die that says roll again on 2 of the sides. Or one.
Answer cloudy.
Oh, y'all are idiots.
Okay, so
It is funny though that I guess the 6-sided die became prevalent just because it was so easy to make.
yeah, that makes
Fucking,
sense.
it's fucking cube.
Yeah, that's it. So I wonder if like all of our games are based on 6-sided die. It was just because our ancestors couldn't figure out how to make.
Not D&D, baby. It's a D20 system.
Man,
Well, in addition to, there's a lot of D4s thrown in there.
Yeah, but it's a base D20. I mean, that's
Yeah.
normally what you use for everything.
I saw a D100 die at one of the conventions.
Yeah.
It's basically just a golf ball.
It's a golf ball.
Yeah. How does it stop rolling?
It's you have to be careful not to roll it very far, otherwise it just keeps going. Eventually, it'll stop on one of the little divots, and then you have to look at it for like 2 minutes to figure out which number is actually the one on top.
And Penny Arcade was kind of touting these dice rollers, randomizers that they have, where they're basically a column, and you drop the dice into the top of the column. They hit wooden stakes inside and flip around and then come out the bottom.
Oh, that's kind of a neat idea.
That's interesting.
And so it's you don't have to throw them out.
Yeah,
you just
I like
drop
that.
them.
Can we buy that?
No, I don't like that.
No, you don't like that.
I don't like that at all.
You don't like that.
No,
That's like being in Vegas where they put the cards back into a machine.
you don't
and
have.
spit
Yeah,
out.
you don't have control over that. You got to put your own special touch on it.
That's true.
Gotta finesse that. Gotta get that 20 out there.
Is that what you're really thinking when you grab it?
Get that natural.
I'm thinking I've hit rock bottom. This is it. I'm fucking rolling
I'll tell you what was
rolling a
rock
spot
bottom.
check.
When you rolled a fucking crit last week and then rolled 4 ones in a row.
I don't even know what the hell you just said. I really don't even know.
I got fucking
he blew a
triple
crit.
damage with a battle axe and did 3 points of damage.
Okay, back to video games. We're gonna come up to video games.
Hey, what about Left 4 Dead DLC? Anybody play it today? Crash
Oh
Course?
shit! It came out, didn't
It's
it?
out?
Yeah, it came out.
So, did we ever figure out, based on the achievements, whether or not it's campaign or whether it's versus?
It's campaign and versus.
So, can you play? You had a theory that you could play as infected in the campaign,
You know, and I realized I'm an idiot.
right?
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
an absolute idiot.
Okay.
I don't know why. I hadn't played Left 4 Dead in a long time.
I wanted to be there for that moment.
And I just, I was sitting there this morning and I was like, what the fuck was I thinking when I had that conversation yesterday? Yeah, I forgot how Left 4 Dead worked until this morning.
I was like, wow, look at these achievements. This means you can play as infected in the
I don't-
campaign. I
I
thought,
don't-
what the hell kind of a campaign would that be?
Yeah, I
What
don't-
are you talking about?
I just was confused. I had some math in my head. Got lost. But no, it's really weird. There's only 3, I guess, like campaign achievements.
Yeah.
And then there's 4. There's it's a both. It's the get the 5,000 kill one, and the rest are infected achievements.
Yeah, they're multiplayer achievements because they didn't have any. Oh, I guess they had some. What am I thinking of? They had some in
Yeah, they had
multiplayer.
like the boomer when you vomit on all of
It's
them.
really,
Yeah,
it's
and they had
really infected heavy though. But almost like to the point where if you play as, if you get a survivor in a versus match, you're like, oh fuck, I can't do anything.
Well, that's
Achievement
kind of how
wise,
it was already anyway. Like, oh fuck, Survivor.
I guess. But at least then you had like achievements to work toward.
Well,
and
you
stuff,
play. You play as both. You don't get Survivor.
Yeah, I know, but like when you go over to the survivor side, you're like, oh fuck.
No, you just,
You
then
leave
you
the game and find another game where you can
They're
be
like,
infected
oh,
right
come
away.
on, you.
They're like,
Come on.
Let's all die as quickly as possible.
Just shoot your teammates and then let yourself die.
Does it upset you that ODST Firefight does not have matchmaking?
No, it doesn't bother me at all.
There have been petitions about that already.
I can understand why it would
Petitions.
bother some people that don't have friends,
Christ.
right? But I got some.
I wouldn't want to play with random.
If you can't
weirdos.
find-
It's such a
That's
coop-
very true, dude.
such a
Yeah.
cooperative game. I wouldn't want to play with fucking Headshot Master 69 or whatever.
And I have never had a problem
I agree.
logging onto ODST and finding 3 people to play Firefight
exactly,
with.
or
Yeah.
at least 2. Come
Yeah.
on.
Well, you're at launch week too. It
That's
becomes
true.
It becomes harder as time goes on.
That's true.
But we played Griffball. We never had a problem getting Griffball matches together.
Nope.
It actually kind of, in a way, I think makes it a little better that you can't just constantly water it down by jumping into matchmaking and having a bad experience.
Absolutely.
Plus, you don't want to be matched up with Headshot 69 for an hour of play.
Yeah.
In Halo 3, in matchmaking, it's a little bit better because at worst you're with him for about 12 minutes.
Yeah.
Right.
And you can mute him usually without negatively affecting your gameplay or your goal.
Well, what's your longest firefight game so far, Bernie? Oh wait, you haven't played it yet. have you?
Yeah, he's off
I have played a
Xbox.
little bit. I have played a little bit here.
Cheater.
With the launch party, and then these guys were recording an achievement video, and I tried to help out with that. Man, I just wasn't good at it. I was so far out of practice because I haven't been able to play.
Well, plus we were playing on Heroic, which is stupid.
Oh my gosh,
Legendary.
So I was
Normal.
Oh, heroic.
For Firefight, normal.
But let me tell you something about my PS3 challenge.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been trying to play this PS3 for. I've got about, I think, 5-6 days left in this. It's hard. It's really hard. There was a cool feature I found in the dashboard, which I think last time I talked about it, I said the dashboard was much faster and better. It's not faster at all.
The PS3 one?
Yeah, because when you hit the PS3 button, it loads the dashboard, but then everything is loading.
Oh, okay.
So you see the dashboard, but every single option sits there and loads itself. So it takes a much longer time. Then I showed you when you go into trophies and you hit it, you have some kind of sync process that it does, and it loads it up. Anyway, that was tough. I found a cool feature, though, that was not available on the Xbox, and I thought, okay, this is cool. A very small feature, but very powerful and very cool. You can copy and paste in messages. So if somebody sends you a message and I want to forward it on to you, I can copy and paste it. But then you think about that. Everyone is forwarding messages. The PS3 actually has chains of petition messages where it's almost like spam in your message box on the PS3. I got one the other day where someone was saying, if we forward this petition to enough people, we can get a Halo beta on the PS3.
Obviously.
Oh shit! Did you forward it on?
Oh my gosh!
Did it work?
And then I had somebody else who I first found out about. I didn't know what they were talking about because they sent me a message saying, "Okay, I'm sick of these messages. Please stop sending me these messages. We're never going to get Left 4 Dead. We're never going to get a Halo beta. We're not going to get the multiplayer maps for Call of Duty. Stop sending forwarded messages." And I thought, what are they talking about? Forwarded messages? And sure enough, within 2 or 3 days, I had like 5 of them.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah. Not cool.
Hey, speaking of which, I think they're going to finally get Fallout 3 DLC.
They did. I
this
think it's
week.
in there.
Yeah,
it's in there.
like some of it this week and then the rest of it next week. I finally finished Mothership Zeta.
Oh, yeah, what'd you think?
It was good. It was probably my favorite expansion out of all of them.
It didn't do as well review-wise.
Really?
Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
I'm trying to think which one. I think I like Broken Steel the best.
Broken Steel, yeah, maybe Broken Steel. Those two were probably neck and neck.
It wasn't the pit. The pit
No,
was
not the pit. The pit was down there.
It was terrible. That was the worst
Point
one.
and Lookout, I was not a fan of.
Oh, I like that one.
That seemed cool. I watched Bernie play it a bit.
Yeah.
Well,
As soon as Gav takes off, I'm going to get back into Fallout and try to catch up with you guys.
Mothership Zeta, I'm glad I saved my alien blaster because those fuckers were tough as hell.
Really?
Oh yeah.
I had. Yeah.
And luckily there was more alien blaster ammo on the spaceship.
Some of them were incredibly easy, and the others were really tough.
I'm glad to hear that because I still have a lot of alien blaster ammo left,
Yeah,
so I'll just set it aside.
Save that shit.
You know, though,
What are you laughing at, dickhead?
I didn't expect to hear. Good thing I have a lot of alien blaster ammo left. Like that's one sentence I
Well,
didn't
it's
expect to
fucking
hear today.
Hard to come by, man. You don't know.
But Gavin said that when he plays games, when he picks up a weapon, he just starts using it. He doesn't save it for anything.
That seems very much like Gavin.
It does. It like immediately, and he'll of course shoot Marines with it and things like that.
That's horrible.
His friendly players.
That's
But
creepy.
I was doing that in Uncharted. If I got a weapon, I just picked it up and started using it and didn't try to save it. It is a lot more fun to do that.
Is it?
Yeah. It's just, okay, you know what? I have 100 rounds of this. I'm just going to use the next 100 enemies I see are going to get a sniper rifle in the face. And it is more fun. Because you don't ever run into that instance where, oh, I'm going to leave my sniper rifle here and pick up the AK-47 and I lose the sniper rifle and never used any of the rounds in it.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah. In Uncharted, you can hold two weapons. You can hold a pistol and you can hold some kind of rifle. And then grenades and things like that.
Awesome.
That's cool.
But
I can't wait to play it.
Basic review for the PS3. Uncharted was great. I never played Killzone more than 10 minutes.
Did you play Resistance at all?
I did play Resistance, but it was the same kind of thing where I played it for about 5 or 6 minutes, and I never played any multiplayer really of anything.
So how much Metal Gear did you watch?
Man, it's not a joke. I think I played that game for about 30 or 40 minutes. Here's everything I did in the game in 30 minutes. I crawled under a truck. Mm-hmm. Then I
remember that truck.
went down a street and went into a room.
Mm-hmm. I remember that room.
And then I don't know what else I did.
Then you probably watched an animation as some tanks came walking along
Yes.
and jumped around. And
Well, everywhere in between that are maybe 10-minute animations, cutscenes. And you get in for a couple seconds, like, Snake, crawl into the truck. And I crawl in the truck, and then it starts another animation.
See, that's fucking...
That's,
not the game.
that's the game where it's like a 2-hour cutscene at the end, right?
yeah, at the end there is like a 2-hour cutscene. Like I delayed finishing the game. I got to the very end and I delayed finishing that game for like a week and a half till I knew I had like a good solid 2 hours when I could watch the end of the game.
I'd be interested to see if somebody cut all the cutscenes out and just strung the gameplay together, how long it would be.
I wonder how long all the cutscenes are. If
It'd
you
be like
string all that
it'd be
together.
like a football game, you know?
Yeah.
Well, I
Or no,
I
like
had
a like a
I had
baseball
never really
game.
played it before. I had never really played it. And I think I played it actually on the Nintendo, the NES, that Metal Gear, way back. It was like Bionic Commando. Same style of game. And I don't know what to say. I mean, maybe because I'm coming in at number 4, that I just don't care about the story.
That game's that game got a fucking 10 review.
Did it really?
That game
Yeah.
got a higher review than Halo 3.
Yeah, you know what though? I mean, I'm a guy like Halo 3 ODST comes out, and I read reviews on it, and I have to admit, when I read reviews, I'm like, shut up, it's a Halo game. Play
Yeah.
it. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Of course, it's a great game. Everybody loves Halo, and there are people who love Metal Gear, and more power to them. They should buy a PS3 and play Metal Gear. I don't begrudge anybody if they like Metal Gear, but I just don't understand these characters. It might be me and my Japanese storytelling thing too. I don't understand Japanese storytelling.
No one understands any of
It
those
doesn't
stories.
sound like
The Japanese people do. I bet.
I don't
it
know
doesn't
about
sound
that.
like there's any gameplay in that game though.
No, there is. Like early on, there's like a lot of that stuff. Then you play for a good 45 minutes, and then the game ends, and you watch the 2 hours. Of
No way. Is it only 45
No,
minutes?
no.
Dude, all I know is every day you came in and I'd be like, what'd you do last night? And you'd be like, played Metal Gear for 2 hours. And I'd be like, how much did you actually play? And you'd be like, 9 minutes. And then I installed the next fucking chapter for 45 minutes. And then I played for 4 minutes.
Oh,
and
did
I
you
had
have to
an
go?
hour cutscene.
Did you have to go to the install?
I did, but it was only 8 minutes.
Okay.
The first install.
There's more installs.
There's not.
Yeah,
Is there really?
There's like 5 or 6 installs you go through in that game.
Yeah. I tell you what, that was just it's the overall experience has been it's just not my platform.
Sure.
You know, I like Halo. I like Left 4 Dead. I like Gears of War.
You like playing games.
No, well, I like the Xbox exclusives, and if you like the PS3 exclusives, you should buy the PS3. But if I was choosing between the two to buy, you're always gonna prefer one, and I just prefer the Xbox 360.
Sure.
And I really did. I think I gave it a good call try, and I like Uncharted. I like Uncharted a lot, but I had to stick with it for a while to play. First, I thought it was a Tomb Raider knockoff, but if it is, it's a really good one. Let's just put it that way. And it's a good game. I highly recommend it, and I would play Uncharted 2 if you get a chance to when it comes out, because I'm definitely going to.
Yeah, hopefully I'll have a living room by then, and I think I'll have a living room by this weekend, hopefully, and we can play some Uncharted 2.
Naughty Dog made that game, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
What else have they did? They were Crash Bandicoot for the longest time.
I think
Do you know what else
they
they've
did
done?
Jax and Daxter too. I think
I
so.
can see that. I can
Because
see
in
that.
there, I looked at a lot of their bonus feature stuff, and they had all that art up on their
Yeah,
walls and little
okay.
statues.
I'm pretty sure they did Jack and Daxter also.
Yeah, it seems like a really, it's weird how we're so familiar with Bungie, right, and Valve. We're so familiar with those companies and how they work and like their offices. I honestly had never heard of Naughty Dog before I watched this, and I thought, well, maybe this is the only game they've ever made.
No.
Just seems like another group of really cool, talented people. All their bonus feature stuff was really cool.
Yeah, I think they're out in Santa Monica, if I remember properly.
I think you're right, because they had on their bonus features, once again, they had a dodgeball game between them and Sony Santa Monica.
I actually knew them because I was, back in the day on the PlayStation, I was a big Crash Bandicoot fan. It was a fun game.
I remember they had great commercials. I remember that.
Yeah.
Did they?
Yeah,
That
I
was
remember
the
the-
PS1 days.
Yeah, I remember the one where it's a guy pushing his grandma out of a car. He says, "Tug and roll, grandma, tug and roll."
Oh, yeah, I remember that
was
one.
I still have that in my head.
I thought that was a Burger King commercial.
No, that was a Crash commercial.
The Crash Bandicoot was the guy in the Crash Bandicoot suit. He looked like...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And he had the megaphone over
And he'd run around.
Oh,
It was
yeah.
funny
It was
and
like Mega
obnoxious.
64 before Mega 64 existed.
Man,
Now I'm laughing thinking of Mega 60.
I know,
Dude.
Mega 64 had a Madden
That
rap.
Madden
God,
video
that
was
man was
awesome.
awesome.
Man, it was really funny.
You got to link that.
Definitely.
Can I talk for just 1 second so I don't talk about the PS3 anymore and I can go back to playing Xbox? Can I just one more thing?
Ah, fuck. Okay, go ahead.
I installed finally and played Home. I don't know if you call it playing Home.
Sure.
I really just absolutely do not understand that.
Nope.
All the screenshots of it look pretty cool. Like you think, wow, this could actually be something. But it's actually not part of the PS3 experience. You load it like a game. And you play it separately. It's on your dashboard, and you don't need a disc to load it, but it's just...
It's like Second Life on your console.
Right. If you were in there and you could go walk around and launch, maybe you can, but I couldn't find that. If you could walk around in there and go to your console and launch games from there, that would be kind of cool.
You can wait in line to play bowling.
And you can go to movie theaters and you can watch like upcoming trailers for games,
That's kind of cool.
which is kind of cool because you definitely have the feeling that people are around, they're all standing there watching it, and you can actually see people watching it. So you do have kind of a sense of community there, but you're not going to go out of your way to load that.
Yeah.
To then load and watch the trailer. You just watch the trailer.
You're going to look for the girl avatar and follow her around.
Yeah, it's almost like a skin for the PS Store. Is almost what it is. It's like you have a lobby for the PlayStation Store. So it's kind
Interesting.
of, I don't know what to say.
Well, maybe they'll put. Maybe that's what it'll be. They'll just have a bunch of retailers. You can buy like different DLC or music or movies or whatever.
Well, have you heard of any innovation coming to Home at all?
No, I
They're
really,
working on
really
anything?
haven't heard too much
Is
about
it still in beta, or is that the official?
No,
No,
I think it's out.
Is it out?
I think it's officially out. Yeah.
If I never in my life see an avatar dancing in WoW or in Home or in Second Life, I'll be okay with that. I really will. I don't understand like why you want your avatar to dance.
Yeah, that was like the worst part of the old Star Wars MMO. You'd go into the cantinas, and there'd be 40 people dancing together.
Oh no, there were performers though. That was a performance class.
Yeah, that was the worst.
in Galaxies. That's why they were doing that.
It was the worst.
There's
Aren't you a fucking bard in D&D? Aren't you a fucking performer?
I don't dance. I don't dance for
Are you a
anyone.
bard? What does a bard do?
So far, not much.
You play music, right?
So far, not much because Gus never wants to come to D&D.
I said I'm supposed to go out of town. Like at any moment, I could find out I'm going out of town. Sorry. I'm sorry. I have to work.
Do you, Gus? Do you play like a mage style character in everything that you play?
No.
You don't?
No.
You just mix it up.
Yep.
Okay.
Whatever needs to get done.
I always play a stealth character in anything where you can spec things out. I always go for the stealth character. I don't know why.
In
Or the zombie.
in Fallout, I played pretty much like a brute, like not a brute, but like someone who used a lot of guns and stuff like that. No sneaking at all until the end when I didn't. That's like the only thing I could put points in anymore was sneak. Like I never snuck past confrontation. I always dove right in.
Wow, really? Because in Fallout 3, I was a sneak character, and I can just walk up next to somebody, shoot him in the head. They never even see me.
Yeah, that's what I'm working on.
I told Jeff, I showed Jeff, this is what my character looks like. And Jeff said, "Okay, I think I'll do that too."
Yeah, it's pretty handy now that I'm doing it at the end. It's really fucking handy.
Yep, you just crouch and just walk up to somebody, shoot him in the head. Mm-hmm. Easy enough, just like real life, basically. I played Zombie Apocalypse on the PS3 as well. I downloaded
what'd you think?
that when it came out. It was pretty cool, but once again, it's because of the achievement system. I think I'm going to do it on the Xbox instead.
Mm-hmm. Yep,
If I
Got
have
a-
a choice.
multi-platform.
Got a pretty decent review today. I was reading about it. Got like 7.5, which is not bad.
It definitely felt like going through an Uncharted and I had to play through on hard and then play through on a mode called Crushing to get the Platinum Trophy. I really felt like no one would knew that I did that. It was like back in the days of GTA 3, the original one on the PC. If you got all 100% of the drug packages and you found them around the city, no one would know you did that, which is what
Yeah.
achievements have solved. You know, and maybe
It's a
just
badge of honor.
trophies haven't reached that point yet where they're inconsistent and just nobody knows they're there. So,
Yeah.
But I got to level 4 on my character, on my profile on PS3.
Oh, that's good. Is that good? Have
Yeah.
you compared to anybody else?
Yeah, not really. It's about 70 trophies in total, and everyone I checked against, they had about that or less than that.
Really?
How's their community site online? Like, can you check your information online?
I have no idea. I didn't even,
No.
I didn't even go looking for it.
There's no PlayStation.com.
I was trying to
You can
look that
go
up.
looking
Nope.
at looking accounts or something.
They have a really cool community that's run by Jeff Rubenstein. It's their blogs.playstation.com, I think.
Oh yeah, I've heard of that.
And apparently that's a very thriving community online. But I don't think it's the same way that Xbox is. I think Xbox is more that you're just there for the information, and the social aspects are contained to the console
Yeah,
itself.
there's forums, but I don't think the Xbox forums are very popular necessarily, or
Yeah.
very very heavily trafficked.
I go in there sometimes looking for hints and stuff, but yeah, I don't think a lot of people hang out. They're all games related. That's it.
Yeah.
Or people asking what E74 is.
Or complaining about the Forza 2 demo, which hasn't come out yet. Gosh, remember before that thing came
Yeah,
out?
I do.
God dang. People just kept complaining about that demo not coming out. Man.
Brutal Legend demo just came out.
Did it?
Yeah,
Yeah, what are you thinking?
I think the game looks pretty good. I'm looking forward to playing some more of it.
Awesome.
Just pretty good. Huh?
It comes out soon, right?
Rocktober 13th.
October 13th.
Whoa, so it's the same day it's going up against Uncharted too.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Is it going to be a Sony game as well?
I'm not sure. I thought it's probably cross-platform, right?
It's one of the big developers. So
yeah, it's EA,
Yeah.
so I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
it's all
it's probably
consoles.
cross-platform.
The rumor mill said that Microsoft was going to buy EA.
Yeah, I read that
Yeah.
last week.
Yeah, the retarded rumor mill.
Yeah, that's totally impossible, right?
that doesn't make any
Oh, Dead
sense.
Space Extraction just came out for the Wii, which is the one thing that might have me blow some dust off the Wii and actually play it again.
Yeah, Dead Space was a really cool game, and I like the idea that it's a prequel, right?
It's a prequel, yeah. It is a completely new story.
So I must admit I was really like enthralled by the Dead Space story, but I don't know if I was so enthralled that
Do you
I'd
have a
go
Wii
buy
at your house?
No, I don't.
Okay,
I'm a gamer. So.
Maybe I can bring mine over and then we can watch it on your TV.
Okay, that sounds fun.
We can play for 5 minutes and watch a 2-hour cutscene.
The Wii
Hold
is
hands.
so friggin' weird. So weird, man. It has been like
It's a toy.
the weirdest success I have ever seen.
Yeah.
It's a toy.
It's like a dismal success.
That I saw that chart. I'm sure you saw it too about 2 months ago, where it showed like consoles sold versus how many people are actively playing it.
Yeah.
And it was destroying everything, and like so far at the bottom of the other list. It's like everybody in the world owns one and nobody plays it ever.
That's pretty much that's the definition of the Wii at this point, I think.
Yeah.
I'm very, very, very interested to see what Nintendo's next console looks like. I'm
Wii 2?
I mean, really, will it be... I think they might go in the totally opposite direction.
Nah, HD Wii. I bet that's the next one.
Well,
Well, there'll be Wii Lite, right?
the 360 and the PS3 are chasing. The PS3 is about to come out with that wand controller that even PS3 fans are like, please don't put this out.
Yeah.
Please, for God's sakes, leave this thing on the shelf. It looks like a big dildo.
I was going to say ice cream cone, but
They were showing Natal at the Tokyo Game Show. Natal playing Katamari Damacy,
Oh yeah.
which is like one of the first, I guess, real applications of the game they've showed outside like the ones they had at E3.
Had to look.
I've only seen photos of it, but it looked interesting and it makes sense, you know. But then again, it's just you moving your hands up and down. So
seems like it get tiring.
I
Yeah.
think motion controls are gimmicky.
Yeah.
They are
Absolutely.
gimmicky. There was some in Uncharted that made use of the 6-axis controller when a certain thing would get on you. I don't want to give any spoilers away for a game that's been on the market for 2 years, but there's a certain kind of enemy that can get on you and grapple with you, and then you have to shake to get it off. And that shaking thing seems to be part of the game, and you know it's in pain as well.
in Resistance, if you caught fire, I think that's how you put yourself out. You have to shake the
Did you hear about Ninja Gaiden 2 Sigma Extreme 7 or whatever the hell it's called on PS3?
No.
You play as the chick in the game, the one with that big staff with a blade on the end. I forget what it's called.
You're going to have to be more specific.
But the motion control, if you shake your PS3 controller, it makes her boobs jiggle.
Well, see, that's a good application.
That just makes sense.
But you know, like the developer who's like, oh no, we have to put motion control in our controller to make it different.
Who does Ninja Gaiden? Is that Team Ninja?
Yeah, Team Ninja.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah, but it's like, really? You know, that's when people try to argue like, oh no, video games are art, and you know, it's not just for kids. And then it's like, you're making her boobs jiggle, really?
It's not for kids.
I got to buy that game now.
That's not-
Definitely not for kids.
I think I just sold 3 copies
You
of that
should
game.
probably play Uncharted, though, Gus, because you might not want to play it with us, because it is heavy amounts of platforming in that game.
I keep asking to borrow it.
And
Yeah, but you're not a big platformer.
it's got even got platform to the point where you're walking across like logs, and you have to tilt your controller to maintain your balance.
I don't want to play that.
Yeah, I don't think Gus would have the patience for
No,
that.
I
at
fucking
all.
hate platformers.
And you'll be happy to know it also doesn't work that great.
Awesome. All right, well, let's wrap this up.
All right, cool.
Anything else?
I love you, Gus.
All right, cool.
All right, there you go.
Thanks for listening.